Hi, I'm Jasmin Dodson from Dodson Legal Group, and today we're going to talk about what to do after you complete your trust. So if you're watching this video, it's probably because you just finished signing all the documents and you've got your revocable family trust in place. So let's talk a little bit about what to do now to help fund your trust. So one of the most common assets that everyone has is a bank account. Now, you can open up a new bank account specifically for the benefit of your trust, or what you can do is take the bank accounts that you already have and you can identify the trust as a beneficiary on those bank accounts. This helps to ensure that when you pass away, your trustee can step in and go ahead and manage those bank accounts on behalf of your beneficiaries. If you've done a joint trust with your spouse, my recommendation is that you leave your spouse as the primary beneficiary and then identify your trust as a secondary beneficiary. This is especially important if you have minor children because you want to make sure that there's no necessity for a guardianship to be put in place in order for your minor children to receive the benefit of any cash that you have in your bank accounts. The next most common asset that people have is real property. Now, if you have rental property in another state, or if you just are talking about your homesteaded residence, it's probably a good idea to transfer these real properties into your trust. And the way to accomplish this is by deed. You can deed your property, whether it's general warranty deed, to your trust. So you would be the grantor, and then your trust would be the grantee. And this just essentially turns your real property into trust property. So you still own it in the name of the trust. You can still buy and sell it, but it's important that if you're transferring your homestead into the trust, you have to refile for that homestead exemption to make sure that you still maintain the benefit of that with regards to your homestead property. Let's talk a little bit about retirement accounts and investment accounts. Whether it's your 401k or whether it's stocks or an E-Trade, we're going to treat these very similarly to what I talked about with regards to bank accounts. If you're married, you probably want to keep your spouse as your primary beneficiary. And then as the secondary beneficiary, you want to go ahead and name the trust as the secondary beneficiary on all these accounts. Now, you can transfer these accounts and do a change of ownership and just put them in the name of the trust, but sometimes that can be a cumbersome process, and identifying the trust as a beneficiary still essentially accomplishes the same goals as whether you would do a change of ownership. So if you just identify the trust as a beneficiary on these accounts, then when you pass away, the trustee can then step in and take over and manage these assets for the benefit of your beneficiaries as you've dictated in the trust agreement. Most people also have life insurance. Life insurance can be treated the same way. This is a pay-on-death benefit. So if you're married, you probably want to keep your spouse as your primary beneficiary and then name your trust as your secondary beneficiary. Again, this is very important if you have minor children and you want to make sure that your trustee can take these life insurance proceeds and use them under the terms and conditions you've set forth within your trust. If you own an LLC or any other business interests, you can transfer or assign your interest in these companies to the trust. This usually requires a legal document that's best prepared by an attorney. So my advice is to follow up with your attorney or maybe talk to your CPA to make sure that your trust is funded, because you want to make sure that you maximize the value of your revocable trust. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call.